the Joy Perspective, the podcast where I share life's challenges, things I've learned through years of personal development, and help others shift their perspective and find their joy. I'm Lauren Valdez, and together we'll dive into how changing the way we think can unlock possibilities, spark creativity, and transform the everyday. Let's dive in.
Let's talk about letting go of control, trusting the process, and not just the outcome. So I'm going to read to you real quick a few reasons why people strive to control things, okay? The fear of unknown, the desire for safety, perfectionism, past trauma or unpredictability, need for validation, illusion of predictability, fear of disappointment, or attachment to specific outcomes. Now, let's talk about letting go of control. But those are some reasons why we would want to control, right? Now, if you know me personally, and even if you don't, I'm going to share a little insight to you. Many people have called me a control freak. And whatever reason that may be on this list of 8 things, whether that is perfectionism or desire for safety or past traumas, I have a problem with letting go of control sometimes. So when I speak on this topic, I am speaking to myself reminders of what I have learned on how to sometimes let go of control. It's a work in process, a work in progress, right? So why does control give us this false sense of safety? Well, we think that control is going to protect us and that we're going to know what's going to happen. We think that if we perfectly plan things out, what could go wrong? Nothing can go wrong. But the reality is, life doesn't work that way. We cannot control all aspects of life as much as we want. So control can feel empowering short term, but the reality is we're actually hindering the joy through the process and through the flow of life. Anxiety comes when we need the answer now. Like I am currently, you guys, I am currently having to remind myself, I don't have an answer now, and that's okay. I won't get into all the nitty-gritty of what it is I'm waiting for, but I want answers. I want to know now. I don't want to have to wait. And so I have fixated on this, like, what's it going to be? How's it going to turn out? I have been so fixated on it that all of the joy and things happening around me are being missed because I'm so fixated on it. And that need to like have the answer, it's what fuels our anxiety, our overthinking, and I'm just going to say it, truly, truly kills that joy. I've talked about this where life is not like the end point, or joy is not the end point. It's not like when I get to here, then I will be joyful, or then I will find true bliss and happiness. Joy is found every single day. It's found in the journey. It's found in the chaos. It's found in all the nitty-gritty. And when we want control and we want to know the answer now and we want to orchestrate it, we're losing all that joy through it. Just because you want that answer now, talking to myself in this one, literally staring at you. All right, Lauren, just because you want that answer now and you want that outcome now, right? That's like that last one of attachment to a specific outcome doesn't mean it's going to happen. So we need to learn how to surrender that control. And for me, that's a big one. I need to surrender the control. I'm not the one in control. I need to know and have faith that whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Now, when I say whatever's going to happen is going to happen, I want to really, I know that this is about control and trusting the process, but I want to just really highlight something here. When opportunities and things come your way, don't reject them. Don't turn them down, because instead you're just like, well, we'll just see what happens. I remember my pastor has shared this story maybe a couple times actually in church where, I don't know the exact example or the exact wording of the story, but there's a man lost at sea, and he prays and he prays and he's like, God, send me, someone to save me. And a boat comes by, and the guy's like, oh no, I have faith that God will send help, and then a helicopter comes by, and they're like, oh, let me save you. And he's like, no, I have faith God will save me. And I think it's like 3 or 4 times, and then the guy gets to heaven and he's like, wait, God, I had faith that you were going to save me. And God's like, yeah, I said 3 different things. So when opportunities and things come your way, I'm not saying be passive and go, okay, no, not for me. I'm going to wait and trust this one, or wait this process out. I don't want to say take advantage, because I'm not trying to tell you take advantage, but I don't know a better word for this. Take advantage of the opportunities that come your way. But don't obsess over the control of those. Don't obsess over the answer. Have faith in the process. Have faith in the outcome. And don't doubt it. It could turn out one way or the other, right? So I'm just going to have faith in the process. I'm going to have faith, whatever it is, whatever will be, right? Another way to say that is what's meant for me won't miss me. But there's so much beauty that happens when we loosen up that control and we loosen up that grip. There's beauty and there's surprises that come when we step aside and stop forcing things to happen or forcing things to fall in line. It can unfold naturally, and we aren't so wrapped up in the anxiety of it. We aren't so wrapped up in the outcome of it. We aren't so, wrapped up in all the micromanaging of all the little things. And sometimes I struggle with this. This is me preaching to myself here. But when I'm able to give up that control and to allow things to happen the way that they're meant to happen, still take advantage of the opportunities, or still try my best, or still do my best, but not try to control or micromanage it, there is often so much more to be gained than just the outcome that I've been waiting for. There's lessons along the way. There is new friendships to make along the way. There's so many things that we can miss in our life when we're just trying to control it. We're trying to fit into a cookie cutter box. I talked about this in my episode about timelines and trying to fit the timelines that maybe society has placed for us. And we think we need to be married at this time. We need to have kids at this time. We need to have a house at this time. And you're trying to control all of those things. But wait a minute, life is happening all around us. Experiences are happening all around us. Life lessons are happening around us. Whatever it is that's happening around us, when we give up that control, we are ready to receive the blessings. We're ready to receive the things that are coming our way. So, how to ground yourself when things feel out of control? So I have heard A lot of people turn to journaling or movement. I know for me, when I do some mindfulness and some meditation, that has actually allowed me to give up control and to be present in my daily life so much more than me sitting there controlling things. So the other thing is noticing and naming what is within your control and what is not within your control. Like let's talk about a promotion at work, right? You really want this promotion. You know that so and so is, retiring and that position is going to be available, and you're over here, you have two options: obsessing and trying to control it and wanting it so bad and becoming anxious over it and so wound up over this that even when you get that promotion, if you get that promotion, it almost feels like this, like, this intense whatever. Or your other option is, I see that and I recognize that opportunity or that position is going to open up. And I can control right now how hard I work. I can control on even building my skills that might make me a good candidate for that position. I can control my mindset. That to me is one of the biggest ones, is mindset. Those are the things that I can control. What I can't control is who gets that position. I can't orchestrate it. I can't micromanage it. I can't whatever, any of it. It is out of my control. But the things I can control are these. And this is what I'm going to work on. How hard I work, skills I'm learning. And then, trust it. Maybe somebody else gets that position. Somebody else gets that position, and you again can be bitter and upset and I should have got that, and trying to control it and it's already been done. Or you can see it as, there must be something else meant for me. And you can look for other opportunities. You can be open to other opportunities. But trust the process. Know what's within your control. Reframing uncertainty as possibility. Right? You didn't get that position. You're uncertain of, well, now what? I've been working and training and trying to get skills for that. Maybe there's another possibility out there. So do you stop bettering yourself? Do you stop learning new skills? No, you keep doing those. Those are the things within your control. And guess what? Another possibility may open up. Maybe the possibility of being that person's boss will even open up. I don't know if that's what you want. Connecting to people and spaces that feel safe. When you want that control so bad, connecting to people and spaces that feel safe. Because a lot of the time we want that control, right? Back to one of the very first ones was the fear of the unknown and the desire for safety. We want that control because we want to feel safe. So connect to those who are safe. Put yourself in spaces that feel safe. And I know, there has been a lot of affirmations and a lot of slogans or mantras or whatever that people have shared, that, they're like, say this to yourself every day. But it's more than just saying to yourself these certain things in order to calm yourself, in order to let go of the control. It's also believing them. So I'm going to say a few affirmations. And if you're at a point where you can write some of these down, write them down if they resonate with you. or rewind it a little bit, write it down later. So one technique that really helps to release that control is to breathe. If you've ever heard of box breathing, it's like inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. It's like literally making a box with your breathing, if you will. So like inhale for 4, hold it for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, and then inhale again and continue it on, right? After you do this, say these, or one of these. I don't have to have it all figured out to take the next step. I don't have to have it all figured out to take the next step. Some people write down just one step at a time. I like the part of having, I don't have to have it all figured out to take the next step. Because that figured it out part is the control part for me. I don't have to have it figured out to take the next step. Another one is I trust the timing of my life. I trust the timing of my life. Another one is even in the unknown, I am safe and I am supported. Even in the unknown, I am safe and I am supported. And this one's probably one of my favorites. And it is, I let go of control and make space for peace. I let go of control and make space for peace. I like to add onto this one, I let go of control and make space for peace. God is in control. When I went to the doctors recently, and they told me they were going to send me for an ultrasound. And, you know, they said, look, I don't want to freak you out, but we're just going to get an ultrasound to rule out cancer. A lot of people hear that and they go, what? What? What are we talking about? And I am so grateful that the control freak that I can tend to be, I didn't get all worked up. I simply just knew God has a plan for my life and he's in control. You know, I am, maybe you're listening to this and you're like, girl, you're crazy when I say this, but I didn't even go down the rabbit hole of researching the cancer that it could be. I didn't go down the rabbit hole of looking at ultrasounds of what it looks like if they do find cancer. So that while the tech was doing the ultrasound, I would have been staring at it, trying to figure out. I didn't. Because guess what? I can't control that. I cannot control that. I cannot control if I have the cancer. I can't control if the ultrasound's going to say it. I can't control any of it. I can control my reaction if that's what it ended up being. But I can't control that outcome. I know it's hard. Speaking to myself here. I know it's hard to release the control, especially when it comes from a place of wanting to be safe, to be heard, to be seen. You know, I often try to control things. A lot of the time it's because I want everybody who is partaking in whatever it is to be considered. I'm a very, like, I want, I don't know how to explain it, where like, if we are going to go out to dinner with some friends, I want to make sure that this friend is considered and her kid's bedtime, and I want to make sure this friend's situation is considered in her kid's bedtime, and then I have to take into consideration mine. And I might even sometimes put my needs to the side in order to accommodate theirs. But what ends up happening is I'm trying to control it all. I'm trying to not from a place of wanting to be in control, but from a place of wanting to be considerate of those around me. And it's not a bad thing to have. Except that in all of that controlling and all of that wanting to take this person and this person and this thing and that and their travel time and my travel time and then all of that into consideration, I've now done what? I've made it not a burden, but I've made it an ordeal just to go out to dinner with some friends. I've lost the joy in that process. All because I was trying to control for good reasons, but I've stolen my joy in there. Letting go of the gripping so tightly in order to control whatever it is, whether it's for a good reason or a whatever reason, you're missing the joy. You're missing the magic that's life. So, whatever your reason for controlling, try to let it go. You can only control what you can control. Let go of the things you can't. Because your joy in it is being stolen. And every moment of surrendering that control is actually strengthening that muscle of not trying to control everything. I've gotten a lot better at letting go of control of things because I've exercised surrendering it. I don't have control over it. Whatever the results are going to be are the results that they're going to be. Certain things we can't control, and we got to let those ones go. I hope this brought some joy into your life. I hope that as you exercise letting go of control, you start to find more joy in your life. Because the tighter we grip, the less joy we experience.
Thank you for joining me today on The Joy Perspective. I hope this episode helped you shift your mindset and find a little bit more joy in your life. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss one. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at @LaurenValdez for more inspiration and updates. I'd love to hear your thoughts and connect with you. Until next time, keep shifting your perspective and finding your joy.